sex is companionship. So yes,
No,
oneness.
that one is more than sex. That's love making. It's not sex when you go to pa, then you go. Somebody start. That's then I did 2 minutes man. It's because you have said make love. Hi everyone, my name is Untitled Gregory, aka Larry J, and I'm a responsible man, and this is my wife.
My name is Praise Gregory. It's nice to be here. It's quite a long story how we met, but the long and short of it was he's a Lagos boy, I'm a London girl. I came to Lagos to do a party for my aunt. She was from America, so she was coming in from America to celebrate her 50th. She invited me to come and do coordination, so to coordinate the event for her. And upon getting down, I had a friend that I'd already made in 2010 when I came for service. And he came to visit me because obviously I was coming back after so long, like 3 years, I haven't been in town. So I came back and I said, oh, let's see one another. So he came to visit me where I was in Ipeju then, and then he brought him. And then bearing in mind that I came from my auntie's wedding, so he's also an MC, shout out to Kenny. And so he brought LJ to the house, and we met first time. I didn't think anything of it. It was just, I was just concentrating on my friend Kenny, hi, bye, and what have you. But what happened was, I think it was 3 days later or 4 days later, anyway, at my aunt's event, Kenny couldn't come on time. You know how you guys MC does. So he didn't come on time, and then he sent LJ to come and take his place. And when LJ got there, I kind of like took a second look. I was like, okay, is this the same person that I met the following day? And then I guess they can say the rest is history. So that's how we met. You don't need to know how we continued. That's how we met. So
it does not finish. It does not finish.
Our mutual friend introduced us.
And after that day, she was liking me. I was not really.
Okay, how we met.
I was not really liking her. No, let them know that it's not like I was pursuing woman. Let them just know. So she was not like.
But did you not pursue me?
I pursued
myself,
and I recovered all basically.
Right.
I did not know when we met. I did not know 2 weeks after, but I was starting to have like a feeling like, this is getting serious. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, I told her I wasn't going to call her ever, and then because I told her to give me a number, she was giving me +447, and I don't used to call her abroad. I minimized my usage of this thing. I wasn't being cheap, do you understand? But I was like, I had that pride in me, like, yeah, I don't call people. And then she sent us a gift, the gift of a man or a woman maketh room for them. So I was meant to call her to just say thank you. And then one thing led to another. I said thank you, and the thank you lasted for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And then the thank you lasted till, when you touch down, call me. And then what now happened was we started a conversation afterwards. Realize our visions are in sync, like what I intend to do in my life and what she intends to do in her life. Actually, they married each other even before we got married. Yeah, that was it for me. Okay,
so for me, I think without trying to sound so like I've been around the bush, but I've had a lot of guys in my life, in and out of my life, and I think one of the things that stood out for me with him was even across seas. Bearing in mind, I returned back to the UK after the event. I think the event was on a Sunday and I left maybe Monday or Tuesday. And we started conversing, and he just showered me with so much gifts. Now, gifts is not like, I'm not a big gifts person, but flowers, chocolates, teddies, cards.
That's how we do.
You name it, he just showered me, and he literally, for lack of better expression, bought my attention. And it was something that I'd lacked in my previous relationships, that even people that I was dating in my vicinity, they weren't showering me with so much love and attention. And he's all the way in Nigeria. And obviously, knowing the exchange rates and everything like that, even though it was much cheaper then than we are now, but I'm going to leave that story for another day. It was just refreshing to have. And then obviously peace of mind, but majorly it was, he matched what I had been looking for. And then because I had known in the past, I had thought that this was going to be the one, and it never ended up being the one. I wanted it to be different, my focus to be different with him. And so the switch was, he showed more than he telling me that he loved me, he showed me that he loved me. And he looked like somebody that I could give my all to.
Which you did.
Okay, so he proposed at an event, right? So he was emceeing at an event, and I was meant to just go and, attend the event. In fact, we had an argument on that day.
Two major arguments.
I just wasn't interested. I just didn't want to go, and it.
Let me remind you why you don't want to go.
It just
because you reverse the car and enter the gutter. That's it.
Okay, yes, I had a little. It wasn't an accident because I just fell inside the gutter. So I drove the car into a gutter, and that evening he was planning to propose to me. Obviously, I didn't know, and I was just like, I'm just not in the mood. Get me to my house. Then I was staying with my uncle. Shout out to my uncle. Get me to Liquidju and let me just go to bed. Like, I'm just not in the mood. Like, I don't want to go out. And he kept on being so persistent. Come out. Let's just I was thinking about and da 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 and blah blah. And then when we got there and he finished the whole event, his co-MC was she said something I can't even remember now, and she was like, we're here, there's a beautiful girl here. I had my camera out ready to record the person because he was hyping the girl as well. So two of them were like communicating with one another. And so I was like, oh, there's about to be a proposal. So I brought out my camera, and then he was like, yeah, and there's a beautiful girl and da 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 da, and then they turned to me and I was like, don't, please don't.
And then she ran away.
Yeah.
And then I pursued her again. And then I caught her in the corner.
Yeah. And then I asked me to marry him, and I said, yeah. Bearing in mind, it wasn't that I was going to say no anyway. We had already started planning our wedding. He just needed to make it official. But it was just the way it happened. Again, we were planning our wedding, so I wasn't really looking forward to a proposal, quote and unquote. But yeah, that's how he proposed.
And for guys that received no for an answer, that's how you propose. You start planning and then you propose, so that nobody's changing their mind. That's it. It was
pretty easy for you, I think.
Yeah, it was.
I made it easy. I chose my own ring and I sent it to him.
She chose the ring, she sent me the picture.
I sent you the link.
And the link?
Yeah, the link.
Yeah, but that's the picture now.
The picture and everything, yeah.
Yeah, but it did not say where I would get it in the link. You only, the picture was there, that's all I saw. And then, can I have some credit for what I did? Yeah, so I got the ring, I ordered it, and it was lovely, it was fine. It was like 2-in-1. Then it was 2-in-1, now it's wearing 3-in-1. But yeah, it was 2-in-1 and it was beautiful. She didn't see it until I proposed.
Yeah,
and when
obviously.
she saw it, like, oh my god. She cried. She cried. Just to put that out there, she cried.
This decision of moving from London to Lagos wasn't really hard, and it wasn't all that easy either. Bearing in mind, in time past, in 2010, I'd already done my NYC in Nigeria. There wasn't any, I'm not sure. There was just a pull from England to Lagos that come to Nigeria. You have left this country over 10 years prior. I didn't have anything recollection of what was going on. I think after we left the first time, I came back, I think it was maybe 10 years, I don't know. Anyway, it was just a long time since I'd been in Nigeria. And so over 10 years. And so I just decided, you know what, I'm going to come back and see what Nigeria has for me. So I did my NYSC. And then, you know, life happens. And then I left back. And then when I came back and then I was always going, I think I was always going and coming. And when I came to do my aunt's wedding, I just loved what I saw. And it wasn't too much of a, and then because obviously I've already lived there in 2010, it was pretty much okay for me. So when the question came of going, coming, it just was easier, quote and unquote, for me to come back to Nigeria. And I always had a desire. So it wasn't like it was forced. And then he wasn't even ready to leave Nigeria then anyway. So it just, the two again married, so it wasn't very difficult for us to make that decision.
Yeah, there was no jappering. Nobody was ready to japper.
Oh, coming back to Nigeria and living. So like I said, I lived there in 2010, but it was totally different. I wasn't dependent on myself. Like I had my parents, I had my uncle. I was staying with my uncle then. And I didn't really want for anything, but being married and living in in Nigeria, Lagos with my husband, having to be responsible, quote and unquote, knowing where to shop, how to take care of your house. There were so much expectations that I had that definitely wasn't met. Oh my gosh. When you talk about cultural shock, I was hit with the cultural shock, from shopping to knowing what to get, to knowing where to go, to just trying to make my house a home. You know, I remember for the longest we didn't have a bed because I just wasn't satisfied. We just had a mattress. And it wasn't that easy, it wasn't that difficult in England. Like you could just go to IKEA. Even if before you go to IKEA, you research online and see, you know, different things that you want, and then go and purchase it. But here you had to call the carpenter, you had to get so many, like it was just alarming. And then another shock was the cooker. Like in when we first got married, we only had like a 2-stove burner, no oven, no well, there was gas, and it wasn't electric. It's just too much. Like literally, I think that's one of the reasons why we started Lagos to London too.
Yeah.
So that, you know, the Lagos in him and then the London in me, like we can portray. There was a lot of cultural shock, even down to even language as well. You know, so there's certain things that I would ask for, and it was like, what did you say? Or like not understanding what I meant. So there was a lot. I mean, time would not permit us, but yeah, the shock was a lot. It was more than when I came in 2010.
Knowing fully well that, of course, we would have our differences, especially when it has to do with culture, and our way of doing things are always different. Because, for example, me and my wife, first, let me just give you examples. My wife thinks if you need to cook, you go to the supermarket, you buy what you want to buy. Me, I think if you need to cook, go to the market to buy what you want to buy. Do you understand? Real market, no supermarket. In supermarket, they will have it there, but it's costly. In real market, it's not costly. Do you understand? So differences, lots of differences. Like we, even language, the way we communicate. My wife can say, before my wife used to say things like, my wife used to say things like, that's so silly, or that doesn't even make sense. In my head, I will think, so you say my head is not correct. He's kneel on there, say, our husband, your head is not correct.
But that's not what I meant, obviously.
But to her, she's saying it's not right. That's what she's trying to say. Who say it's not right? Don't say that's silly. Showing me when he say I don't know what I'm doing because it's different.
Communication skills. We had to learn.
We had to learn and unlearn some things.
Yeah.
So she had to bend on some part. I had to bend on some things, and just to make it work.
Yeah.